This story comes from the blind boy in the poem you just heard, as he was on night patrol with a squad of his friends. They were caught in a crossfire. They tried to make a run from this ambush, but he was the only one that made it. They did kill many of those who were shooting, but not all. In the dark, and trying to be very quiet, he made his way back to this deserted village. As he crossed this field, he could see behind him 4 dark figures carrying guns. He hid in one of the huts and waited for them to come. When they entered the village, they split up, and that's what saved his life. Using his knife as to be quiet, he managed to kill the 4 soldiers. But the sad part was that 2 of the 4 soldiers were only children, about 11 or 12 years old. Now this boy was very religious, and as he made his way back to his camp, that was all that was on his mind. He had just killed 2 children. Sometime after he had returned to his unit, he was again sent out on patrol. This time they were hit with mortars, and he lost his sight in both eyes. This was the punishment for killing the 2 children, and he knew in his heart that he would burn in hell for what he had done, and there was nothing I could say or do that would change his mind. We talked and cried for hours as he tried to get through his story. I tried to tell him God was not a vengeful God, as he thought, but he just kept saying an eye for an eye was his judgment. Like the other boys, they were my friends now. They were in this hospital, not for their wounds to heal, because they had healed long before I met them. They were there because they had mental problems, the trauma of never having a normal life, a good job, a wife, a home, and sons and daughters of their own, and also things they had done and seen that they just could not live with, and life in their minds was over. A few days after he told me his story, he jumped off the roof of the hospital and killed himself. I tried to write this poem with all the hurt, fear, and emotion he shared with me, the last thoughts and feelings of this young boy. This poem is called The Last Soldier. I am afraid. Adrenaline pushes me forward. Fear runs close behind. I must stop and rest before I lose my mind. Oh, who came with me, lie beside the road. I cannot stop moving, but my gun I must reload. I have to be real quiet. The enemy is near. Just inside I try to hide. My heart is all I hear. Adrenaline takes over. The war I hear once more. Lifeless bodies at my feet as I try and close the door. Fear is getting closer. There is someone near the door. One more dead soldier lies upon this blood-soaked floor. Fear has found me, ashamed, as I sit by this unknown soldier's side. Fear runs through me as I lay down by his side. Quiet for a moment. Is this the fate of man? One long endless battle all across the land. I want to cry for all who lie here upon this unholy floor. I push aside my fear and close the door once more. I know now where I'm going. All my friends are dead. If God could but grant one wish, to sleep in my own bed. If I could only close my eyes just once in gentle peace. Those men, those eyes, they haunt me. With them I'll find no ease. All through the long dark night, I look to end this bloody fight. One fear runs through my mind. Could this be my last night? I know that fear will find me, and once more I will fight. All this senseless killing all through this long dark night. What am I going to tell my children? They must never know. Surely those men had children too, but they will not go home. What was it this time? For oil, land, or peace? One thing is certain. The ones that started it are not here next to me. Silent cries within me, pray you get me home. I do not wish to die here, especially not alone. I see no glory here, no valor upon the floor, for now I see it for what it is, this horror they call war.